Good day, everyone. Today we are moving beyond simply admiring a famous painting and diving into a true masterpiece of Renaissance thought, Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. We will analyze this work not just as a religious scene, but as a revolutionary piece of psychological drama, technical innovation, and geometric precision. Contextual background. First, let's establish the context. This monumental work was painted for a very specific patron in a very specific place. It was commissioned by Duke Ludovico Sforza, the ruler of Milan, as part of a major renovation of the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie. It was painted between 1495 and 1498. The setting is crucial. It was placed in the refectory or the dining hall of the convent. The monks would eat their meals often in silence, meditating on the scene before them. The painting was literally a part of their daily life, intended to be a centerpiece of the Sforza family planned mausoleum. Slide 3. Defining the problem. Leonardo was facing a great challenge. How to capture a narrative. The scene isn't about the static ritual of breaking bread. It's about the emotional explosion that occurs the second after Jesus says, "One of you will betray me." Leonardo's problem was transforming this static, age-old ritual into a dynamic, immediate human drama. He had to capture the intention of the soul, as he later wrote. Methodology, a revolutionary approach. To achieve this drama, Leonardo employed 3 distinct methodologies. First, a technical experiment. He chose to abandon traditional fast-drying fresco painting. Instead, he used a technique called secco, painting with tempera and oil directly onto a dry stone wall. This allowed him the slow, detailed work and revisions of an oil painter, which was necessary for such a psychological study. Second, compositional geometry. He made masterful use of one-point linear perspective, using the architecture itself to create deep space and direct the eye. And third, a psychological study. He grouped the apostles into 4 sets of 3, treating them as individuals and capturing a wave of distinct human emotions moving outward from Christ. Finding 1, the divine center. Let's look at the geometry. This slide illustrates finding 1, the divine center. The composition is a masterclass in stability and focus. Leonardo uses the architecture to literally anoint Jesus. Every perspective line in the room, from the ceiling coffers to the side tapestries, converges on a single vanishing point, Christ's right temple. This mathematically precise structure makes him the tranquil, mathematical, and divine center of the entire scene, regardless of the chaos erupting around him. The calm in the storm. This tranquility is reinforced by the figure of Christ, while the apostles recoil in agitation. Jesus is a figure of perfect stability and resignation. His body forms a perfect equilateral triangle, a symbol of divinity and balance. His hands are open and still, one palm up, seemingly accepting the divine fate, and the other down, grounded in the human. He is the visual calm in the emotional storm. The human storm. Finding 2 is the human response, the storm, created by Jesus' words. Leonardo's innovation was to capture 4 unique psychological responses, grouping them into 3s. Group 1, Bartholomew, James the Younger, and Andrew. They display shock and disbelief. Bartholomew stands up while Andrew holds his hands, demanding a halt. Group 2, however, Judas, Peter, John, is defined by guilt, anger, and sorrow. Judas recoils into the shadow, Peter lunges forward, and John leans away, faint with grief. Group 3, Thomas, James the Greater, and Philip expresses doubt and questioning. Thomas's finger points up. Philip points to his own heart. And finally, Group 4, Matthew, Thaddeus, and Simon, is consumed by confusion and debate, turning to one another and questioning, what did he mean? Analysis and interpretation. The power of the painting lies in the collision of these 2 findings. The stone is the divine geometric calm of Jesus. His stability is the anchor dropped into the water. The wave is the ripple of human, chaotic emotion moving outward from the anchor. Critically, for the first time in art, Judas is not isolated on the opposite side of the table. He is hidden in plain sight and integrated, if shadowy, part of the human drama clutching his bag of silver. Limitations, the flawed masterpiece. Despite its genius, The Last Supper has a tragic limitation, the technical failure. Leonardo's innovative secco technique was a catastrophic failure because the paint was not chemically bonded to the wall like true fresco. It began to flake almost immediately. The estimated original Leonardo paint remaining before the 1999 restoration was less than 20%. The painting we see today is a ghost, heavily damaged by time, environment, and numerous restorations, meaning our analysis is based on this beautiful but extremely fragile artifact. To conclude, we return to Leonardo's own words. A good painter has two chief objects to paint, man and the intention of his soul. The first is easy, the second is hard, because it must be expressed by gestures. By fusing divine geometry with human psychology, Leonardo succeeded in painting the very intention of the soul, transforming a simple narrative into a timeless study of human nature under pressure. Thank you for listening.